like to go ahead and welcome OSU Extension of Fairfield County, got to get that right, Debbie Wren, who is a Master Gardener volunteer. And I'm so excited because you're going to teach us a lot of things in this segment.
I'm going to try.
And if you're new or you have been experienced, I always like to think that somebody, especially when they are considered master, you know what you're talking about. And I really like it because some of the things that I found out even before we got started. But you're going to talk about now the soil, the temperature of the soil, and planting and gardening, like vegetable gardening.
Yes.
Flower gardens. Yes, correct?
Vegetables.
Vegetables.
Yeah.
Vegetables only. So you, first of all, how did you get started with this? Something you've been doing for years? Because you've been a Master Gardener for how many years?
I graduated from the program in 2005, but my family always had a garden, so I've been around it all my life.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Vegetables, the vegetable side of it?
Both. My grandmother was very good at raising other plants, specifically flowers, but my mom and dad did mostly vegetables. So.
And what I think is unique about what we're going to talk about today is container gardening.
Yes.
Because this is especially, I think, a wonderful segment for those who may not have the space to have a garden and go out there and do all the tilling and getting and all of the rototiller and all that stuff out. You can do this. So what do you have to share with us today?
You can grow anything in a container, any container, as long as that container has drainage.
Okay.
It can be a pot. I do vegetables in a raised bed. I did potatoes in a dog food bag. So as long as your container is in the right space and it has drainage holes, you're good to go. One of the tools that I brought today was this thermometer to tell you the temperature of your soil, because you don't want to plant before your soil temperatures get up higher. Raised beds will typically become warmer before your ground will.
Okay.
So you go out and check your garden and you stick this around and you can tell what that temperature is.
Debbie, for raised beds or container gardening, I think this is, because I'm so glad I thought of this, where do you get your soil for that? Do you purchase it or do you get it from your ground from your yard?
No, for a raised bed or a container, it's best to go, you can go to your local nursery.
Okay.
They have specialized soils, and now you will see that there are a lot of specific container soils or raised bed soils, and I would invest my money in those.
Okay.
Then, of course, as time goes on, you do have to amend. You have to put some compost in there to keep all your nutrients and everything fresh, so whatever you're planting has the best chance.
Sure, yeah. And because I like to think that we've got some folks who may consider doing this for the very first time, so that's important information, because I thought that would be great. So you were talking about the dog food bag. You did potatoes in that.
Yes.
So you just went and got the soil, and how did you do that? Because it's interesting.
I just poked holes in the bottom of the bag. I had a 50-pound bag that held our dog food, and I put like about 6 inches of soil in the bottom, put my seed potato in there, and covered it up, and as it grew, I put more soil. So at the end of the season, the bag was not completely full, and it's kind of like opening up a present at Christmas time, because at the end of the season, you dump that out, and here you have lots of potatoes.
Seriously, so they just continued. Yeah. As you continued to put more soil on top, then that gave it more of a chance to, because it wasn't widespread potatoes, it was they're going deeper, so you literally just cut down your bag and then came out in the potatoes.
Yeah. One seed potato gave me about a dozen.
Nice.
But it's that feeling of, wow, look what I did.
Right, yeah. No, because that's a dozen is about, how many pounds could that be? How big were your potatoes, I guess I should ask.
Well,
and what type of potato was it?
Well, I like
matter?
Yukon Golds.
Gold,
that's my favorite. So you're getting a potato that's, about like that.
Yeah.
A dozen of those. That was several meals for my husband and I.
Right, yeah, and so then you just kept doing that. And how often do you water it, and where do you place them? Is it full sun? Is it part sun? Things like that.
It has to be in full sun, and I'm a firm believer of sticking your hands in the soil. If you stick your finger down in there and it's dry, it's time to water. But if you stick your finger in there and it's kind of damp, no.
No.
Because you can overwater.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, you can overwater.
Yeah, and if it's outside, of course, it just depends on how much rain you're getting.
That's another thing that you have to keep in mind too.
So when it comes to the containers for other vegetables, what is one of your favorites to do?
I grow, and you can grow any of these in any container, you know, your standards: tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce, peas, carrots.
Do you suggest in different containers or raised bed? It doesn't matter. I mean,
well, you do have to be mindful of what you're planting together. It's called companion planting. So if you're going to be putting a lot of things together, you might want to do a little bit of research.
Okay.
Because there are things that cannot be planted. I have several beds, and I put several different things in each bed.
okay.
So, yeah.
When should folks, that's it, when should folks, because we could have the frost, when do you think is the best time? I think it was
Well,
after Memorial Day, do you say? Or does it depend on the vegetable that you're planting?
well, it can, because you have what are considered cold crops. Your peas, your lettuce, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, those can take some colder temps.
Okay.
So, but anything else like tomatoes, no. You want to wait until you are past that frost-free date before you put those tender vegetables in.
And now I know we were just talking about the planting of the seeds, but when should you purchase your seeds? Because when should you do it before certain times? Because everybody gets so excited and everything because it's all out there right now in the store.
And if there are specific seeds you want, if in the middle of April, if you don't already have them, you better start looking for them, because people do get crazy and they order, or they go to the store and they buy. So if there are certain things you want, now's the time you need to be looking.
Some folks, I'm sure, get excited about having new kind of plant, like they do the hybrid plants of different tomatoes, some of them, I would think, where they do. What do you recommend for that? Should they go to a gardening center as well, or for the seeds, or just go to any?
I'll be honest, you should probably just go to your local greenhouse, nursery. That's your best bet. They'll know what's good for this area.
Wonderful.
They can help you.
You do projects throughout the year with the Master Gardeners?
Yes.
With OSU Extension?
Yes.
Yes. And do you happen to have the contact information? I know Connie said, she said Extension on the website. Do you know the website by chance, Debbie?
I should.
Okay, that's okay. It's
But
on
I
the
don't.
screen. We've got it on the screen for
Okay.
folks. Folks, if you are interested in learning more about the OSU Extension, Master Gardening, and things like that, that is the place to really, they have you could spend hours. I really think the folks could spend hours
Yes.
on the website alone learning great information that is good, truthful information. You guys never misguide anybody. They'll just probably maybe tell you what not to do. Thank you so much, Debbie.
Well, thank you.
Folks, thanks so much for watching this week's Downhill with Tina show. I'll be back next week. God bless and good day.